Hello students, so today we'll start with chapter 1.5, which is Joan of Arc. Okay, so this is a story about a girl named Joan, and it is a part of a play. The chapter that is given to you is a part of a play. It is a scene of a play from St. Joan, and this play was written by George Bernard Shaw, who is an Irish playwright, and he has written many other plays as well, but one of his famous ones is Saint Joan, and this chapter is a part of that play. Okay, and it is about a girl named Joan who was a peasant girl meaning a farmer's daughter. Okay, so she was a farmer's daughter, and she was born in eastern France. And the reason why they have a whole play written about Saint Joan is because she was so strong and she was so confident and she could motivate people to fight, and that is the reason why she had led the French army towards several victories, and because of that they considered her as a saint. Okay, so now coming to the chapter, the scene is set in the year 1429. 1429, this is when France and England were fighting a war since 1337 to 1453. This is the approximate time period in which the war was fought between England and France. And Joan, she wanted to free the city of New Orleans, which was one of the French cities which was controlled by the foreigners. Okay, so she wanted to free that city. So now the conversation is between Captain Robert de Baudricourt, his steward is his helper, and John and Monsieur de Poligny. Okay, so as we go through the play, I will give you a very brief idea about the play. We will not go line by line in the play. I will give you the gist of the play along with explaining the meanings of difficult words that are given in the play. Okay, so the play starts with Robert, and Robert does not want Joan to be a part of the army. He does not want her to come with them, and so he tells his steward that why haven't you thrown her out. So the steward says that we can't do that. Robert asks his steward that are you scared of her. So the steward says that no, we are not scared of her, but she is the one who puts courage, meaning strength, in us. Okay, to that Robert replies grimly meaning very seriously, and in a tone that indicates that he does not like it. So he asks him that where is she, and he orders his steward to go and call the girl from the courtyard, who is a 18-year-old girl. So he asks his steward to call her from the courtyard. Courtyard is basically like a garden. So the steward goes and calls the girl up, and when she comes in, she is not scared. She comes in very confidently, and she speaks to the captain. Robert is the captain of their army. Okay, so she speaks to him also very confidently and asks him that Captain Squire. Squire is a word that you use when you're referring to a person who is higher in position. Okay, who has a particular rank, who holds a particular rank. She comes in and and tells him that why haven't you given me a horse and an armor, and why haven't you yet sent me to Dauphin. Okay, Dauphin is the son of a French king. Okay, so she asks him, she wants to go there so that she can go and motivate them to help them fight for New Orleans, the city that is under the foreign control. Okay, so Robert does not like the way she talks to him, and he tells his steward that why didn't you tell me that this girl is mad, you blockhead meaning you stupid person, you idiot. Why didn't you tell me that she's mad? Okay, so the steward says that you might not want to anger her, and you should give her what she wants. And listening to this, Robert does not like it, so he threatens John and tells her that if you don't stop acting like this, I will send you to your father. And one point that you would like to remember is that John, she ran away from her home to fight for her country. Okay, so that is why Robert threatens her to send her away and send her back to her father's house. But Joanne, she is so strong, and she says that you won't that won't happen, because if you had wanted to do that, you would have already done that. That means you would have already sent me to my father's house. Okay. And then she continues, and then she keeps on giving him reasons why she wants to go to the Dauphin, and she tells me that she wants to go to the Dauphin and convince him to free Orleans. Now Robert is very shocked by after listening to this, and he says that and she also tells Robert that there are a few people who are ready to come with me to Dauphin to convince them. So basically, other than Robert, everybody else is in favor of John, and everybody trusts her because she is the one who is motivating them, but Robert does not like it. Okay, so she tells him that there are a few people who would like to come with me, and those people are Polly, who is Monsieur de Poligny, then Jack, John Godsave, Dick the Archer, John of Horncourt, and Julian. These are the people who have agreed to join her on the journey to Dauphin. And then Robert is very surprised that these people have agreed to join her, and he confirms that with his steward. So before we go ahead, this is a map of France. Okay, so you see the green part is the France, and the purple and the slight pinkish parts, these are parts that are parts of France that are owned by the English people or the Burgundy people. Okay, and you see near the border of English possession and France, there is a dot which says Orleans. That is there the city of Orleans is located. Okay, so moving on, when Robert hears that Monsieur de Poligny has agreed to go with her, he demands that he wants to talk to Polly, and he tells Joan that you go and stand outside in the yard. Okay, so she smiles brightly at him, and then she goes out, and in comes Polly. Okay, and he also tells the steward to go with the girl, that is John, and he retreats hastily. That means he moves away moves away quickly. When Polly comes in, Robert asks him that you, Jack and Dick have agreed to go with her, and don't you think her idea is very crazy? So Polly replies to this that there is something about her that it may be worth trying, meaning he is giving credit to John that there is something that makes us want to do it and makes us want to try. And he tells him that Robert tells him that you're out of your mind if you agree with her. And then Polly argues back that what is wrong with going to Dauphin, and the Dauphin is in Chinon. Okay, so I forgot to explain this to you. So the map over here that is there, you see the red part, that red part is where the Dauphin is. Okay, that part is Chinon, that is where Dauphin is. Okay, so coming back to Robert and Polly talking, Polly tells him that Dauphin is in Chinon. Chinon is a place where the France royal family stays there, and he says that he is staying in Chinon like a rat in a corner. That means he is scared. He does not want to come out of the corner. As you saw in that map, the Chinon, that place is towards the end in the corner of France. Okay, and that he says that Dauphin does not want to fight, he is scared, and because of that the English people, they will completely take over Orleans, and the French people, we will lose it, and he won't be able to stop them. So Robert tries to tell him that Dauphin is a is a royal person, and he has beat the English people a year before the last, and so he might be able to fight with the English people. So why do you and Joanne and everybody have to go with him? So Polly tells him that but he might have fought a year before, but now his men, his people are cowed means frightened. Now they are frightened, and they won't be working any miracles, meaning they won't be doing any good to, and they won't be able to save France or the city of New Orleans. Okay, and then Robert says that miracles are all right, Polly. The only difficulty about them is that they don't happen nowadays. So Robert says that miracles don't really happen nowadays. So Polly he tries to convince Robert by saying that giving a chance to Joan would be like a miracle in itself, because she is a miracle in herself. So after talking to Polly, Robert is a little bit Robert has warmed up a little bit to the idea of Joan going to Dauphin, and he has given up on it now. And so he says that I would like to talk to Joan again, and he calls her inside, and then he kind of tries to convince her to not to go by telling her about all the actions that the English soldiers do, like the looting, the burning, turning the countryside into a desert. That means burning everything, that there is nothing left, like a desert which is empty. And he tells her about all the actions that they do. And then Joan, she tells Robert that you do not understand, Squire. Our soldiers are always beaten because they are fighting to save their skins, and the shortest way to save your skin is to run away. So she says that our soldiers are only fighting to save their skin, that means to save themselves, and the shortest and the easiest way to do that is by running away. But what Joan wants is to teach the French people to fight for France, to fight for the country. This shows her patriotism, how much she loves her country and how much she wants her country free. And she says that then when I teach them this, they will drive the soldiers before them like sheep. That means they will fight with the English soldiers so bravely that they will run away like sheep. Okay, and to that Robert now finally agrees, and then he says that, and then they start making plans for Joan to go to Chinon, and they talk about how she is going to get inside into Chinon. And when they talk about that, Robert says that I didn't want her in my presence, but somehow she has made that possible. So similarly, she will go there and she will do her work, and she will go get herself accepted into Chinon, the palace, and she might be able to convince the Dauphin just the way she has convinced Robert. Okay. And then according to that, they make plans. He gives her what she needs, the horses and armor and things, everything. And then he says that now I wash my hands of it. That means now I have no part in what you want to do. I have given you what you wanted, and now it is totally up to you what you would like to do. And with that, the scene ends by, as Polly goes out of the room, she shakes her Robert's hand, Polingy's hand, and then she goes out of the room. By this we come to an end of the chapter, and in brief, if I want to tell you about Joan, I would say that her intentions were so strong and that she believed in herself so much that she was able to get her work done through. Okay, she was able to convince Robert that we can do this and I can do it, and accordingly we will be able to free the country. Okay, so I hope you have understood the chapter, and if you have any doubts you can come back to me. And so as usual, your homework would be to solve the English workshop. So the first question is kind of a tree diagram where you have to put in various things from the after reading the chapter. So setting, what period, that means what is the time period, location, and if you want to see, you will get all of this in the very first slide, second slide. Okay, then the second question is you have to pick out 2 lines that provide evidence for each. You have to give examples of lines where her confidence shows, her courage shows. Okay, and for this you will have to read the chapter thoroughly, and then you have to write a character sketch of John. Okay, so moving on, question number 3 is that you from the extract find what the following are compared to and why so. What is it compared to? So to give you an example, look at the C1. The dolphin in Shannon is like, so they have compared the dolphin in Shannon to a rat, as they've said that he is hiding in the corner like a rat. Okay, and why they have done it, why they have compared. So the why would be that because he is scared and he does not want to fight, that is why he is hiding in the corner like a rat. Okay, so similarly you have to write for all the questions. Then question number 4 is a simple say why. Why did Joan want to meet Captain Square? Joan did not ask for many soldiers. Why didn't she ask the captain for many soldiers? So that is what you have to give reason why she did that or why she didn't do something. Okay, then question number 5 is using a dictionary find the difference between the following pairs of phrases. So you basically have to give in the meaning and you have to use it in a sentence. So for example, first one is cut in and cut out. So basically cut in, the meaning of cut in would be to interrupt something. Okay, so you have to form a sentence that includes the phrase cut in, and then cut out means to remove somebody from something, remove somebody from a group. That is meant by cut out. And you have to write a statement which uses the word cut out, phrase cut out, sorry. And similarly you have to write for all the other phrases. Then question number 6 is you have to find Indian queens, Indian women in the history book or through internet, and you have to compare them. For example, Jhansi Ki Rani, and you have to compare them to John. Okay, how their qualities, how they were similar and how they're different. That is what you have to do. And then question number 7 you can skip. Okay, then question number 8 is you have to make the following sentences affirmative without change of meaning. So you must have studied negative statements and affirmative statements. So you have to convert negative statements into affirmative statements, but that does not mean that you will change the meaning of the statement. Okay, and then the B part is that, so this also you can use a dictionary to do this. So you can look for the word inspire. You have to use the adjective forms, adjective, verb, adverb and noun form of the word inspire. And then the next one, they have given you safe as an adjective. Okay, so you have to find an adverb of safe, verb of safe and noun of safe. Okay, so similarly you have to fill in the whole table. Okay, thank you.